everybody. Welcome to Tangled Silver Magazine's The Ageless Lounge. And this week, or this today, we get to talk with, I personally think, the amazing Alba Torres, artist, my new friend, about all good things related to aging gracefully. Welcome, welcome, Alba.
Thanks, Robin. It's so great to be here. I'm so honored and excited.
I am so excited to share you because I'm going to let you know that Alba was a quick we met kind of on a just like kismet, I guess, is that the word I want to use, Alba? A kismet kind of thing. She attended our first sisterhood experience, but she only found us about a month before the event started, and she took a leap of faith without knowing anybody, went online, signed up to this park, not knowing a soul, but she walked away with numerous friends now. And I feel so blessed to have met her. We are sisters from another mother in a sense because we have the same
Yes.
birth date.
Yes.
Um, and then I discovered after we spent those days together and I got to know her, I discovered she is this amazing artist. So, Elba, I'd like to start off before I would dive into your artwork a little bit. I want to start off with my question that I always ask, and that is when I say that I believe you are an ageless woman, what does that stir up in you when I say you're an ageless woman?
That stirs up the erasing of the social conditioning and brainwashing that I was raised with. It kind of goes poof. I'm free. Ageless to me means freedom. When you think about it, in erasing all the social conditioning and belief systems that a lot of us grew up with, it means freedom.
Ab- Absolutely. I love that. You're the first person, no, not the first person, but really like who really gets it. Because that's kind of where it goes with me. When somebody goes, oh, so you're trying to stay young when you say ageless. I'm like, no, it has nothing to do with that. It's just with the whole, yes, the freedom of just loving who I am now, being who I am today, and loving who I was, but not needing to struggle to go back to be her again, and looking forward to being my best as I move forward, right?
Right, right. It's almost like the gates open, unchained, unhinged,
Yes.
open, elevating, expanding. It's a great place to be.
It is so great. And I think that we have to fight those old stories that made us all so fearful about getting to this point in our lives, right? That a lot of us that grew up in the 80s, 70s, 80s, were so scared to hit a certain age because of all the silliness that was being spoon fed to us all those times. Now we're finally there. We're like, well, wait a minute. This isn't so bad. Oh, wait a minute. This is actually pretty damn good. So,
They're
well,
lies.
I totally, but we all bought them, right? Like they
We all
sold them
bought
hook,
them.
line, and sinker. We all bought them, and
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm so glad that my daughter's generation is and not just automatically buying whatever you're spilling, right? And I'm so glad that we're getting more of us are coming out and sharing our stories about how much we love this part time of our lives, which I think makes it easier for those who are struggling to go like, oh, okay, well, if she doesn't find it so bad, maybe it's not so bad, and they start maybe looking at it with a different light. But I really want you to talk about your artwork because when we were hiking to Gem Lake, Alba and I had a chance to have just some one-on-one time, really talking as we were huffing our way up the mountain a little bit, taking some breaks, and just really chatting. And you just have such an interesting story about how you got into your art. And your art is amazing. I don't know if people. Elba, I want to make you shift so we can all see some of your beautiful artwork behind you real quick because you are just amazing. If you
Well,
haven't, yay, there it is. If you haven't seen the current issue of Tangled Silver magazine, our Connect issue that came out now in December, has features her in this beautiful some of her beautiful artwork. I want you guys to get to know her because she is truly amazing. But share a little bit about how you got into your artwork and what that's done for you because I feel like it's really been part of what's opened you up to this fabulousness.
oh yeah. How I got into it. I'm not trained. It's one of those things where I had a betrayal trauma experience happen in my life. And as a result of that, I was seeking resources. When you go through something like that, you're after the therapist, the life coach, the self-development work, the books, the podcasts, the small groups, the you name it, the somatic work. And um, I know that there is healing in arts, and it doesn't necessarily mean drawing or painting. I mean, there's healing in in dance, there's healing in music, there's healing in all these art forms. And that was one of the things that I reached out to. A girlfriend of mine was doing some online class, and I was talking to her, and she recommended I take an art class. And I sat back and thought, I can't, I'm not an artist. I can't do anything. I've never done anything in the past ever relating to art, but I thought I'm going to give it a try. So I just dove in and I took an online course. And what started happening was, because of my betrayal trauma experience and all the feelings and emotions I was having as a part of healing and going through that experience, I started just putting whatever on a canvas, putting anything I felt from my inside core onto the paper. So some of my early work is really ragey and angry and bitter, and this stuff behind me is the same me. It's a mirror of my inside showing on the outside. But my earlier work is more ragey. And then I had another person tell me about somebody else online where you don't think about the outcome. You go with what you're feeling. Like if something pops in your head, let's say a goldfish pops in your head, you do a goldfish. If whatever, there is no form, structure, really education to it. Everybody's an artist. Everybody can get what's inside of them out. And it doesn't really matter what the outcome is. It matters that you connect with yourself and you express it on paper, that you get it out, whether it has to do with singing or movement, or, some people act to get feelings out, so, writing, some people write, journaling's another one. So it began more in my desperation of feeling like, hey, I'm spiraling here, I'm going down, and I was reaching. So that's how I got into art. It wasn't it was a save myself desperational moment.
You know what I love though, what you said is you said that some of your earlier works you were more raging, and I've
Yeah.
taken a look at some of your earlier works that are on your website.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily see them as raging, as I'm sure they were at that moment for you, right? You felt they were totally all this oomph that you had. But what I find from you is that I love that what you just said is kind of like everybody kind of has this in themselves, and they have to kind of go through all these emotions. And I think that's
Yeah.
something, especially as women that are going into midlife, we start finding ourselves into all these emotions. Some days we're happy, some days we're sad, some days we're mad as hell. Um, and it just is, if anybody sees that, we both, Alba and I have dogs, so we're going to warn you if there's any barking on here, just know that this is just real life. So we don't edit it out. You just may have to deal with some barking. But I love that art, like you said, it can be whatever you consider art, right? Like for me, I always tell me I love to draw. I mean, I will tell you right now, sitting on my desk, where did I put them? Where did I put them? I have watercolor pencils. Of course, now I'm saying that to you, and I want to grab them and show them to you. I don't have them right offhand, so I must have moved them somewhere. I'm like, but watercolor pencils. I don't consider myself an artist, but I do like to just color, make silly pictures here and there every once in a while. I love to journal. I feel like the magazine is my art in a sense. Like I have such enjoyment when I'm in there playing with the photos and the pictures and the stories and laying them out. That's my. But I love that it's something that we can all in tune with, right? And that you're expressing that it's about finding that what works for you specifically.
Yeah. It's about really self connection, honoring that self connection, whatever that is, and putting it out. Everybody's creative, everybody's an artist, but I did it more for healing myself. I'm not I work for myself because the outcome for myself, because I was in a place where I needed to save myself.
Well, and we are also lucky that you found this because your spirit and your energy just, I mean, when she came to the event, everybody, she came in, she had fairy hair. Is that fairy hair? Is that what it's called? The hair. And
Yeah, the
she came in
tinsel.
just this, the tinsel. She came in and was like, hey, does anybody want tinsel? I'm happy to do tinsel for everybody. And all of a sudden, this room of women who I think the majority of us had never had tinsel in our hair. Like, sure, Alba, give us some tinsel. And I
Yeah, that
got,
was fun.
I, oh my gosh, it was so much fun. I mean, so artist, hair specialist in a sense. Like, I was like, how you got those all? I mean, she did my hair, ladies and folks. And I got to tell you, I went around for about the next 6 weeks with so many compliments on that. I'm like, ooh, I got to figure out how to do that more often because it was fun to be able to put it in there, but it was crazy getting them out.
I was going to ask you about that. I mean, did you have
You
to have
walked
your
in the room,
husband or someone?
immediately captivated everybody. I did. I did. There were some that came out on their own, and then there were a couple that they were just like they were looking really cut. They were starting to look pretty bad, like they'd been in long enough. And I was like, "Okay, honey, can you please come figure this out?" He's in there going, "What the heck?" I'm like, "I don't know what you did. I just sitting there when she put him in." But
That's so funny. I
it's you
think I
have this
still
vitality.
I sometimes I find one in there. Sometimes I find one just sticking out and I go, "Oh, hello." But yeah.
It was just it was your energy and your vitality. I don't think there's a single person in that room that if I were to ask them would not have said they absolutely adore, fell in love and adore you right now because your energy, you were just so open and welcoming. And again, you walked in not knowing a single soul. And I think you were
Right.
one of two that knew absolutely nobody. Everybody else kind of knew at least somebody or were familiar with them online, but you actually came not knowing a single soul. And yet I would have known that, by the way. You just came in, you were hugging everybody. I mean, it was just the energy. And I love that because I think that more of us need that at this point in time. Sometimes we get caught up in this little like shell of being scared what's next in our lives, especially if we're going through things like, losing spouses, rather that's through divorce, death, illnesses, or we're losing children, or we're becoming empty nesters for the first time because we've finally gotten kids out the door, or we're now becoming first time grandparents. I mean, there's all these things that sometimes we kind of get lost within our not knowing who we are anymore.
Yeah,
And I love that.
yeah. I was going to say the thing about growing older or transitioning is it really becomes your time now. I mean, the kids have grown, things have shifted, people have shifted, you have shifted, and you kind of land in a place of what now? And it's an effort you need. Well, not you, but I felt I needed to make an effort. The reason somebody from somebody else I found and um, guess what I'm trying to say is you need to take risks. Get out of your
Yes.
home, get out of your house, go
Yes.
and sign up for things. I felt like, okay, this looks cool. There's a bunch of silver-haired women here. They're all around up or down my age. It's in Colorado. What a beautiful place. And I thought this feels cool. And what I really liked about it is when you speak to a silver sister, the silver sister for me first gave me the impression that in order to be silver, you've got to have some watermelon size ovaries to do that. Because society says don't, right? Do everything to be young, and
Yeah.
I'm thinking, okay, these women kind of gave two middle fingers up to that. And I thought, okay, this is my tribe. It was almost like these women said, this is who I am. This is the truth of who I am. This is me standing in my authenticity. This is
Yes.
me being me. And that was so attractive to me. And
Yes.
and so I thought I'm going to do it because I'm a risk taker. I like to try new things and go places and figure things out. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to sign up. What's the worst that could happen? They're all cliquey. They're not fun. They're all into, whatever they're into, and I'm an outsider. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? I know how to take care of myself. I walk out. What's the worst? I'm thinking I can just go and explore Colorado. It wouldn't be bad either way. So when I went, I mean, I met you, I thought, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I have never been in a room of silver sisters or people my age, probably since college or high school or something like that, when you're around people
Yeah.
that are your age. And
Yeah.
it was just so fun. It was so, so fun to be there. And you're dealing with an authentic, real crowd. And I love
Yes.
it. I love it. I'm all for
Yes.
it. So it was fun.
There's, yeah, there is something about it. I've had a few people in the last month or so, I had one woman tell me that I trigger her because I'm so accepting of my age and my letting my gray hair that it triggers her because she's so not ready to go there yet. I'm sorry that that stirs up stuff for you,
Yeah.
but it doesn't, but I mean, I don't want to stir up bad stuff for you, but at the same time,
No.
I also don't want people to make me feel like I have to color to be relevant, right? Like I
Right,
chose not
right.
to, and any more than I'm not anti-color at all. I colored my hair for 25 years. I'm just anti anyone telling me I have to
Me
color
too.
now to stay relevant, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so the Silver Sister community is just such uplifting group because, like you said, we're going against the grain of what we be doing, and even though it's getting more acceptable, it's still not, if that makes sense, right? Like more and more people are accepting it, more and more people are letting their silvers come in, but we still have that big wall that we're trying to get over. People that still are kind of in that mindset of like, why are you doing it? Why are you
Yeah.
doing that? And it
You know,
is
that's
so
just that old
refreshing.
programming. Yeah, that's just that old programming that, we talked about earlier about,
Yeah.
we're not going to listen to that. We're going to be who we are. It kind of reminds me of, I think about the LGBTQ plus community who has their pride parade, right? These are, I just
Yeah.
went to a pride parade and I'm like, these are the most sweetest, bravest, authentic people you're going to find. And it's almost like the
Yeah.
same with the Silver Sister community. They're saying, this is me, this is who I am, and I'm
Yeah.
great being this way. And I'm not going to,
Yeah.
fall into this box or follow all this conditioning that was really placed upon me. We're saying, no, no, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what attracted me to the event was this is pretty cool. And especially anybody who knows growing their hair out for your gray out for the first year is the toughest. At least it was for me.
Oh yeah.
And not only are
Yeah.
you dealing with the gray growing out, you're dealing with all the other awarenesses and acceptances and realities that are in play that you're also dealing with. And that
And
makes
I
me
want to I
pretty
want to
badass
grab
in the end. I mean, it's just like, hey, yeah, well, this is it, baby.
totally. Well, and I love that you said that because sometimes people go, "Well, it's just about your hair." It's like, no, it's not just about the
Mm-mm.
hair. For a lot of us, it starts with the decision to go into the
Yeah,
hair, right? And then you start suddenly realizing these other things about yourself that you didn't realize. Not that they were maybe ever problems, but like there were things like I always thought I was pretty confident, but I didn't really become confident until I started going up against the people going, "Why are you doing that? Why?" And it started becoming, well, because I want to. Like all of a sudden, I realized that what I thought once was something wasn't as true to who I am now. Like I feel better now, more confident now
right.
than I felt in my 20s and 30s. I mean, it's just, but it was peeling back those layers. So when sometimes people go, "Oh, it's just about hair," or how can you really talk about like what on earth are you talking about silver hair for? Still, I'm like, what do you mean still? I'm like, it's just the whole, it's everything about the silvering lifestyle in a sense, right? That incorporates not just our hair, but our just that freedom, that spark, that energy, and um, yeah, you're all those things. So I mean, when I met you, I was so thrilled because you literally were. I mean, we talked because when people sign up to come to the thing, I make a phone call, and I got off the phone call with you, and I was like, I went out to my husband. I'm like, okay, I just made my new like next best friend. My husband's like, what do you mean you don't even know who this woman is? I'm like, I don't. I'm like, but you would not have been able to tell that by our phone conversation. We were laughing, we were talking. I'm like, and then I met you, and it was like, okay, yeah, duh. Like, I mean, I already knew that, but like, it just confirmed it. Like, yes, this is my person. These are my people. I mean, it was so nice being that. And for me, the magazine's been around now for 5 years, but that was the first time we've actually come together as a group like
Hmm.
that. Um, and it was really special to see how we all, like you said, you don't know when you're bringing a bunch of women
No.
together. You don't know what you're gonna get, right? It's like a box of chocolates, as they say, right? The Forrest Gump movie is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. But yet, every single woman that was there was so special,
Very,
and there was
yeah.
none of that, like you said, none of the clicky stuff, none of the stuff. Just it was just truly an enjoyable moment.
They were great. It
So,
was
or
as if they
moment
were
because it was
warm,
tense.
open, loving, fun, creative, smart, knowledgeable, beautiful, sexy, glamorous. Just, it's just fabulous. It just, being this age or being this way, I guess, in the silvering way and owning it opens up so much. Uh, for me, it opened up my creativity in terms of how I dress. It opened up my risk also in, picking maybe a leopard belt. It opened up, ways in, I want to try this makeup. I want to try those earrings. And, it's kind of like I'm thinking, I want the sports car, even though I love my Honda Pilot, love it. I want the sports car. I want, it's just like, it's just opened, opened, open. Whereas living before to me in my younger years felt so restrictive. It felt like I have to fit in the box of being 120 pounds. I have to color my hair every 2 weeks. I have to, reach this or reach that and reach that again, all that conditioning. And now
Yeah.
it's like two middle fingers up. F that.
Right. And isn't it freeing to know that we can do that? Like we actually are now coming to our own. We're like, yes, we can do that, and it's okay. We don't have to apologize for it.
No,
Uh,
and I had to give myself the permission to do that. Really, nobody was putting me in the box but me. You know,
right.
I mean,
Well, and but that's just it. We don't. We yeah. We all go. Oh, we've been put in a box. But when it comes right down to put us in that box, you just said it. We
right,
we did. We're
right,
listening to all
right,
the other stories, but we're
right.
still ultimately in control. Just like with when it comes to beauty, I want everybody to define beauty and aging for themselves. If it means you want to join Alba and I and go silver or gray or whatever your natural shade is, great, do it. If it means that you want to keep coloring your hair red, brown, red, if that's what makes you feel beautiful, that's what you should do. But I
Exactly.
just love providing the space where we are all coming together, realizing that, wow, like midlife does not have to scare us. And we can
No,
literally flip off anything that we don't like anymore, and it's okay.
that's the best part.
Isn't that the
That's
best
the
part?
best part.
So tell me a little bit, Alba, because when you first came together, you didn't have a website up and going yet. Um, you said in the beginning here you didn't consider yourself an artist, but I like immediately you are an artist automatically. So tell us a little bit about like where people can find and see this artwork because yes, we can see little glimpses behind you. You can see what glimpse in the magazine, but where they can find the website. Give us your website information. Give us your social handles and tell us where we can find you socially as well.
Yeah, thank you. I am on Instagram on Miss Alba Art. I am in Facebook, but my website is msalbaart.com, misalbaart.com.
And it is a newly launched website, right? So congratulations on that, right? Newly launched.
Yeah, it is newly launched. But it
And
feels like yeah, no, go ahead.
no, I was just going to ask you. And what can people expect when can we order prints? Can we get originals? What are we able to? How are we able to be amazed by you?
Well, it's funny. That website to me is just like another Instagram. At least that's what it feels like. And contact me. Just contact me and I'll deal with you personally. We'll talk personally and see what your desires are. So, but yeah, like I said, I do it for me. Sometimes people like something and they'll go, "Hey, can you give me a print of that?" Or, I did make a T-shirt out of one, and you know, I did make cards out of another one. So people have individual desires or needs, and what I do is I just search it out on my end and try to give them what they like and what they want, and that's about it. It's
That's
pretty
awesome. That's
organic,
awesome.
pretty natural. I'm pretty easy. I'm not scary. Just contact me.
Well, I will tell everybody she's got one there on the back corner there that I actually have. She's doing one for me, a print of the original, right? Print on canvas of the
Yeah,
original.
that
Uh,
one.
one
You
she
see that
created.
one?
Yes, that. Now I don't know if you guys can
That's
all
your.
see it looking closer. Tell us a little bit about that one there, because that's why people understand why I have to have that one after you share what where when you created that one.
Yes, I created this one. It's the one up here on top. It's called "Woman Healing on the Mountain," and what inspired me to do that one was our Colorado trip. When I came back from Colorado, um, I think about the beautiful mountain, the sunset, the women getting together in community, in sisterhood, um,
Yeah.
healing each other, healing from the land, healing from nature, the moon. It was just so touching to me to come back from that experience in Colorado with you and all the ladies. And I thought that's what it was. It was really a healing mountain, it was a healing community. It was a beautiful place to connect with other women. So that one's yours, Robin. That one I have waiting for you.
Yay. Yes,
So
I saw that
that
when she.
inspired me, and that's especially for you.
Well, and thank you, because Alba, you inspired me with that. Like when you sent me that picture and showed me what inspired you to create that from your time with us, that
Yeah.
to me touched me in so many ways. Because when you're in business for yourself, sometimes you have your highs and your lows, right? And sometimes you go, "Am I really touching anybody with what we do?" And that those 3 days that we all spent together, I this is why I loved what I do. And then you sent me the picture a picture of your artwork that you created and said what had happened for you and why you did it. And it was like, like that was just like, I'm just touched that it inspired you. That I was like, yeah, I have to have that. And she's like, oh, okay, well, let me look into that. But I'm thrilled. I'm excited, and I'm glad that we got to share you a little bit. I want everybody to know that you're going to see more of Elbow around our Tangled Silver community. You'll catch her if you get a chance. If you haven't subscribed to the magazine and get a free copy of this month's issue to check out, you go over to the website tangledsilvermagazine.com. You just email us that you want to get on the email list, and you will automatically get a current copy of the magazine. And this month it does have Elva's artwork, the red gal down there in the corner, spotlights there, shares a little bit more with her, and lots of other good stuff. Elba, I'm so excited. Thank you for spending some of your day with us and sharing some of you. Like I said, you just a sister from another mom. I
Yeah.
was gonna say Mister again, but Elba and I were laughing earlier, trying to create a different way. Because ladies, I got to ask you, why do I say brother from another mother, or brother from another Mister, or sister from another Mister? I mean, we come from women, right? So we need to come up with a more fun way to say when we have that connection with somebody. Go, oh, we're sister from another.
Your
So if you
mother.
come if you come up with a good fun word, sassy word for us, because I think silver women are sassy, shoot it to us so we can kind of start rephrasing that. So we can say a sister from another.
Queen.
So another queen, maybe that might be better. But like just I laugh because it's just we're not actually coming
Yeah.
from misters. So why do we use that phrase?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this is the fun
Robin,
thing
I
you
have
get
to
to
tell
have.
you. Oh, I was going
Yes.
to say really quickly. When I came back from that event, I felt so high. I was on a high. I felt so good. It was so fun meeting people, hiking, doing all the beautiful, fun things that we did. And I have to say, I don't think I had ever felt more glamorous than I do now. I owned it. I own the silver. When I left, it was like the first year. This is 1 year in for me being silver. And I left and I was like, oh my God, I feel so glamorous. You gave me some beautiful earrings. And I just posted something that said, for someone who thinks silver isn't sexy, I think I just put something that said they're liars. And I
Yeah.
just, because I felt so glamorous, so beautiful, so amazing among you and all the other silver sisters there, it was just so much more empowering. So thank you for even creating an event like that. And
Oh,
even talking to you on the phone, I'm like, I don't know who I'm talking to. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing. And having it be such an amazing experience. So anybody who is interested in connecting with other silvers or women and love the idea of going to Colorado, please go, because you will be warmly invited. You'll have fun, you'll laugh a lot, and look at Robin. I mean, she's a testimony to the warmth, love, fun, grace, beauty, strength, and intelligence that you're going to be surrounded by.
oh, thank you, Elba. All you ladies are the ones that amaze me. I mean, I will tell you, ladies, sometimes you go to events and you meet people, but the event is over, right? So you go to something, you run into
Right.
people, you say, oh, we'll connect, and we never do. I will tell you that the group of ladies that were there are a core group of us that are still connecting via monthly socials, if you want to call them that, just to kind of
Yeah.
stay connected. stay connected.
Yeah.
Which I think speaks to the way we all connected, that we wanted to have this way that we could all get back in touch because we're from around the country. We had a gal from
Hmm.
Canada, we've had California, I think we had Texas was represented, Colorado. I know I'm missing. Where else am I missing? New York. I mean, we just had. It was just when you actually were wanting to still have that connection. That speaks to the volume of the relationships and why the women came to the event. We were there to connect. We weren't there just
Yeah.
to show up and then go. So
Yeah.
it was
And it
amazing. So
doesn't
thank
matter what
you
you
for
do. Yeah. It doesn't
no.
matter whether you're successful, you're not. I mean, it doesn't matter. What do you do? I don't know. I'm lost. And you're sitting next to a
Yeah,
person who is doing something great. You're sitting next to the person who's just like, I don't know. I'm just here. You know,
yeah.
doesn't
It
matter.
it was
Just, yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it doesn't matter where you are in life, what you're doing. It was just really unique experience. And next year will be even better. So we're booking it through the end of September. So the 24th through 26th. So it'll be a little bit of a special VIP kind of thing that'll extend it a couple days for those who want to play in Colorado a little bit more. But those details will be coming out in January. But I am so excited to get to share this time with you. Alba and I have already decided that we're going to be long-term friends now for quite some time because we just have too many kismic things in common. So thank you for today. I'm going to let you get back to your day. And everybody, thank you for joining us again for another Ageless Lounge. We'll see you at the next one.
Thank you.